We welcome you inside Chrysler Center for number 3 Michigan and Rutgers. Wolverines at it for the first time in 10 days after dominating in Las Vegas. With a starting lineup featuring a massive front court. Adai Morez Johnson Jr. and the Big Ten Player of the Week, Yaxa Lendeborg. Meanwhile, for Rutgers, Harun Zerno, the freshman from Bosnia, making his first career start. They'll need Dylan Grant and Emmanuel Abole to perform well in the paint. Jason Horowitz, Sean Morris, happy to have you with us here in Ann Arbor. It's the conference opener for the Wolverines, but for Rutgers, they just played number 1 Purdue on Wednesday.
Yeah, they've had their hands full here in the early going, and they will certainly have their hands full. This is the lid lifter in terms of conference play for Michigan, but they come in with a ton of momentum. Their last 3 games in Vegas, outstanding, winning by an average of 37 per game.
Wolverines average over 93 points a game. They are coming off 3 consecutive games in Las Vegas where they beat power teams by at least 30. Lendeborg trying to kick outside. Cadeau for 3. And a rebound here for Jamichael Davis. All right, Chris, thank you very much. Here in Ann Arbor, number 3 Michigan conference opener, taking on Rutgers, who just played number 1 Purdue on Wednesday, along with Sean Morris. Jason Horowitz here with 5 to shoot, just the 2nd possession of the ball game. Dylan Grant, tough cover, baseline, and an offensive rebound for Harun Zerno. And the Scarlet Knights, who have really struggled on the glass the last few games, with an early 2-0 lead.
Nice job by Zerno of being active there, and that's a difficult conversion around the rim. And Michigan, that's how they make you pay. They just get up the floor so quickly, Jason.
Wolverines, all the anticipation on a sold-out Chrysler Center here in Ann Arbor. It's been 10 days since they won the Players Era Championship, dominating San Diego State, Auburn, and then Gonzaga by 40.
And just so efficient in doing so. Their assist rate on the season, Jason, north of 65%.
Stay with Rutgers. Our starting lineups here for this ball game for the Scarlet Knights. Harun Zerno, the freshman from Bosnia's first career start. Darren Buchanan Jr., the transfer from George Washington, the 2nd straight. And then for Michigan, that massive front court.
And all of those players along that front line for Michigan, outstanding passers in their own right.
Burnett on the breakout. Breaks down his own offensive rebound. And tempo is going to be such a big factor in this ball game.
If you are Rutgers, you want to try to shorten the game and make sure you get back in transition defense.
Lendeborg, the Big Ten Player of the Week, misses his first attempt. Now, talking to Dusty May, he knew his team was about to play well. Nobody could have predicted winning by 37 points a game in Las Vegas. Michael Davis got Mara in the air, just couldn't finish. Cadeau on the break here for Michigan, a little bit more than 2 minutes into this first half. Rutgers can hold Michigan in transition for the first half. It'll be a big deal. Mara defines Morez Johnson Jr.
There's a great example of the interior passing. Mara is just so impactful. Doesn't have to score a ton, although he can on the defensive end of the floor, and his ability to pass the basketball, very impressive.
Turnover up top. Johnson Jr., his own offensive rebound, and that is 6 unanswered for the Wolverines.
This is a Michigan team that has shot the ball at all 3 levels extremely well on the year. 52%, 36 from deep, 73 from the line as a squad.
Highest ranking in 5 years. Pull up Buchanan Jr. Obole taps it out. And again, the rebounding element of this basketball game is going to be such a big factor. Zerno for 3 in the corner, way off. Did not hit the rim. Shot clock did not reset.
Nice job of the back tap, although the shot clock now winding down.
An offensive foul. It will go back Michigan's way. As we take a look at our keys to the game, sponsored by K Jewelers, that transition we were talking about.
You need to get back if you are Rutgers and kind of get yourself situated defensively in a high-octane offense you're facing in the Michigan Wolverines. And for the Michigan Wolverines, we talked about their proficiency out in Las Vegas. They've had to sit for about 10 days, so they wanted to get off to a quick start. A couple of fits and starts here, but when they're able to get up and down the floor, man, there's something to see.
And they are so balanced as well. Cadeau on the drive. Sean, Namari Burnett, 9.9 a game. They have 6 guys, if you round that up, who average 10 points a game.
And it speaks to their unselfishness. Again, they share the ball so well, and that blowout of their last game there, they had 29 made field goals, 24 coming via the assist. Outstanding.
And all 4 of their baskets so far from 2, but it was beyond the arc where they were so dominant in Las Vegas. And Rutgers is going to have to withstand this crowd here early on, because they've been waiting for a long time to see this team in action too. Dylan Grant, and man oh man, as he has an impressive sophomore season.
And that's a tough conversion with Mara rotating over there. He has a 9-9 standing reach.
Foul is called on the floor on Jamichael Davis, his first. Good action early on, Michigan up by 4.
Money can be a tool for giving thanks, planning ahead, and spreading joy. For lifting people up, putting down roots, and bringing loved ones home. However you spend this Christmas, Thrivent can help you plan your finances for the people, causes, and communities you love. Thrivent, where money means more.
Marathon is rewarding fans with savings of up to $1 per gallon. All by earning rewards on every gallon and on select in-store items. Making every pit stop and snack break worthy of a celebration.
Score.
The more you fuel up, the more you score with Marathon Rewards. Marathon, the official fuel of the Big Ten.
If warm-hearted Barb suddenly had Tom Brady's football knowledge, her well-regarded elder care practice would feel immediate effects.
When you have inside leverage, drive.
Do you want me to do that to Deb?
She's embarrassing you out here.
I don't think the turning radius.
Do your job. Yeah?
Winning's a lonely business, Barb.
Yeah.
Nobody knows football like Tom Brady.
And they're off.
Oh my God! 99 to beat. Watch anytime on Hulu.
Back with you here in Ann Arbor. Jason Horwitz, Sean Morris, happy to have you with us. 8-4 Michigan, the early lead. But Sean, they are certainly one of the biggest storylines. People expected them to be very good coming into the season, but nobody expects you to beat San Diego State, Auburn, and Gonzaga the way that they did in an historic fashion as well.
By an average of almost 37 points per ball game. And Jason, it was a different guy every night, but the theme was this. They shared the ball extremely well, averaging 20 assists per ball game. They can beat you inside, obviously, with that front line, and then it allows guys to come in off the bench, like a Roddy Gale, knock down a couple of threes. But that young man right there, Jackson Lindenborg, has been everything he's been advertised. Had 26 double-doubles a year ago at UAB.
He's got 3 this year in a Michigan uniform. Those wins against Auburn and Gonzaga, both by 30 over ranked opponents. First time a college basketball team has ever beaten ranked teams in back-to-back days by 30 or more. They only trailed, Sean, for 2 minutes in 3 days.
What was wrong those 2 minutes?
It was like 2-0. They trailed in this game 2-0 for 7 seconds. Zerno for 3. He had 13 in the loss on Wednesday against Purdue. It'll go back to Michigan. Early 10-4 Michigan lead. Coming up, our Hoops triple header will continue. Washington clashes with number 24, undefeated USC. It's next on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. All part of a triple header. Really good one before we got going. Ohio State's win in Evanston against Northwestern. Jake Kaysen in the ballgame for the first time, all part of that depth. Mentioned Ronnie Gale Jr., he's on the floor as well. 8 to shoot for the number 3 team in the country. Johnson lost the ball. Rutgers has the takeaway.
Obole, excellent job defensively, and then he cleaned it up by going on the floor. He moved his feet. They were trying to get to the rim on him, and fine job by the big fella of sitting down and not allowing Kaysen to turn the corner on him.
Dylan Grant, as a freshman last year, didn't play much of the first couple months of the season. He got going once January started. But his progression from his freshman year to his sophomore year has been immense.
And not just in terms of his production, which kind of speaks for itself at 15 per outing. He's been efficient in scoring as well. About 52% conversion. Doesn't take a lot of threes, but when he does, the results usually pretty good, 43% from deep.
We need him to get going in the early going. He had 13 against Purdue, but 11 of those came in the final 10 minutes, and they were already down by 20 or more. Tough defense here for the Wolverines. Burnett knocked it out of bounds. 6 to shoot for Rutgers.
And we've talked about the offensive proficiency with which the Wolverines play, but defensively, man, they've been outstanding as well. Their opponents, and we've talked about the high caliber of opponents they've played, they come in averaging only 34% conversion rate on the season.
Tough shot, Grant. Vanderborg the rebound. You mentioned it as advertised. Transfer from UAB. Inside, Morez Johnson. The double came. He fought through. And all of this in the paint here for the Wolverines.
And a number of the points for Michigan so far have come off Rutgers miscues. And if you are Rutgers, you don't want to help a team that's as high octane offensively as Michigan by self-inflicted wounds.
Nice, just 2 of 8 to start. Tough drive, the freshman Zerno. He's a highly recruited kid, scheduled to go to Indiana, changed his commitment. They're hoping that he can get going here. Took a little bit of time here, his first month in his college basketball season, on the push. Double in the corner, and he lost the basket.
Yeah, he's just got to be stronger with it. He caught it in the coffin corner over there.
Rick Francis right in front of us. He's okay. Our desk is not. In the corner, Michigan a 3. Vanderborg is fouled. Count it. It's on Tariq Francis, and they'll have an opportunity for 3. Yaxel Vanderborg here at an opportunity for a 3-point play as our folks around us fix our table. And he knocks that one in.
I choose to look on the right side. My beverage did not spill, Jason.
Boy, so I'm got a top on it, though.
Yeah.
Sean Morris, world-famous Diet Coke drinker, is actually drinking water here this afternoon.
This is a well-oiled machine you're working with.
Bryce Dortch on the floor for Rutgers. They've gone to the bench. That is an early appearance. Caden Powers, and it's blocked. Morez Johnson Jr., the engine of this Wolverines ball club.
And watch what he does. It's a small thing, but an important thing. He's a right-handed dominant player, but if he tries to block that with his right hand, he's not going to get it. He came with the inside or the left hand to attack that shooting pocket. Well done by Morez Johnson.
McKinney on the floor. The freshman Tariq Francis. Ooh, nice scoop in the lane, couldn't finish. And it's tapped out, and another rebound for Vanderborg.
And if you're Rutgers, good recognition of understanding the shot blocker. Mara wasn't back there, but you've got to take advantage.
Well, they got to figure out what to do with him. He has 8 in the early going. Timeout, Steve Peichel. It is all Michigan here in the early going.
Morez Johnson kind of made his presence known last year at Illinois. Didn't get a ton of minutes, but when he played 17 per minute per ball game, got 7 boards, and he's showing you why USA Basketball wants him on their squad and won another gold medal this summer, because his motor never stops.
It is nonstop. Well, right now, the first 250 fans will get $20 off a Big Ten Plus annual pass. Stream hundreds more events across the Big Ten this season. Scan that QR code on the screen. Go to BigTenPlus.com. Make sure you enter MBB20 when selecting an annual pass at checkout to take advantage of this offer. Next game, full game. Next day, full games. All those classic games that are there on Big Ten Plus. Well, you can't ask for a tougher start to the conference play for Rutgers. They open up Wednesday, taking on #1 Purdue. This whole second half, they were playing from down 20. Steve Michael's team was trying to hang in there. And then you come here to a team that's as good as anybody in college basketball.
Arguably playing as well as anybody in the country, given their performance in Las Vegas. And taking care of the basketball, we've talked about it earlier, Jason. If you are Rutgers, you don't want to give extra opportunities to a team like Michigan, and points off turnover is a big reason that the Wolverines are ahead right now.
Another turnover right on cue. That is the 5th. Chris Woolley, the highly recruited freshman, could not handle the pass.
If there is a bright side for Rutgers in that turnover, at least it wasn't live ball, right? So they can come back and kind of get themselves situated defensively.
Cheddar checks into the game for the first time for the Wolverines. But that's part of the other two, so much made of the transfers from Michigan, but guys like Will Cheddar and Namari Burnett and all Roddy Gale Jr., they were part of that team that went to the Sweet 16 last year. Mara, nice defense, Bryce Dortch. Buchanan on the push, draws the bump, offensive foul.
Yeah, he's set. Even though they're talking about continuous motion, he was set before the ball handler went into a shooting motion. Well done in defensive transition.
3 turnovers for the Scarlet Knights, their last 4 possessions. 6 turnovers. We haven't played 8 minutes in this ballgame. It's all that defensive pressure. Look, so much made of points that Michigan has scored so far this season. But you don't beat teams by 30 and 40 without shutting them down on defense. McKenney for 3. More of the offensive rebound, more inside on the paint. And a foul call. The Wolverines will be at the free throw line when we come back. Well, Tariq Francis found his way over to us. Sean Morris was cool, calm, and collected. I apparently not so much. There's Sean. No, me not so much.
Are we ready for this party?
Guests are on their way and food and drinks were just delivered.
Now what about the music? It's gotta be my new one, right? Play it.
I'm a bad man. I'm a masked man.
I'm not sure this is right for your niece's party. She's turning 5.
Oh, I get you.
And Wayne?
Yeah?
Should we cancel the dancers?
Let's reschedule the dancers.
What day would work for you?
Just not today. Alexa, you're good.
Timmy!
Life's better when you're under our roof. Because we know it's more than a new home.
It's really him.
It's a new journey.
Welcome to the neighborhood, Jordan.
Thanks, guys. Whoa.
And when you feel protected, you can dream fearlessly.
Go long.
Bundle home and auto and save up to 40%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
On a 2-timing Fansville by Dr. Pepper.
You guys mind flipping to the Western game?
The Western game?
The Western team has an exciting offense.
You have a side team.
No.
Why was this in your laundry?
Oh,
Admit it, you have a side team.
it's not like that.
What about the cake? How many other teams are there, Jay?
You know how crazy you guys sound?
Go Western!
Now it's not a good time, Bushy Bill.
Huh?
But leave the Dr. Pepper.
College football, it's a Pepper thing.
Thanks for calling Discover.
Hi, I just received my new Discover card. It says cash back. What's cash back?
Buy what you need, earn a little extra back.
Even on a baseball bat?
You betcha.
How about a flamethrower?
Wednesday, the top-ranked Boilermakers. Unbelievable look. Battle the Gophers. Then, the Badgers take on the Huskers. A Hoops doubleheader. Wednesday on the Big Ten Network.
Wherever we go, progress follows. From building ideas to helping them grow,
Maybe we could chase the sun, do what we've never done.
From inventing technologies to advancing them.
Close our eyes and take a leap until we feel the breeze.
From repairing voices to raising them. For the public good, look to Michigan.
Most of the Michigan starters on the bench. They're up by 11. 8 minutes into this first half as we look at today's advanced stats sponsored by Lowe's. The Axel Lendeborg, a little bit more than 86% from two this season. Leads the nation. He's not taking a ton of shots from inside the arc. He's also doing a lot at the free throw line, but everything today, Sean, for Michigan has been in the paint.
They've dominated in there. The only point that hasn't come in the paint has been a free throw. And when you look at Lendeborg's stats, they hop out at you. But the other thing is you dig a little deeper, very unselfish, averaging about 3 assists per ball game, and more importantly, an almost 3-to-1 assist turnover ratio.
He averaged 17.7 rebounds, nearly 4 assists per game in the 3 games in Las Vegas. You know, Dusty May was hoping that his team would come out the same way they did in Las Vegas. They ran their shoot-around today the same way they did. It was more of a relaxed walkthrough. It was like an NBA-type shoot-around. They said, hey, it worked out there. We're going to keep it going. Aiden Powers got to the free throw line. A nice stroke for the freshman. 6'4" out of Seattle.
And the metrics may not like it, but those are going to be the best shots maybe that Rutgers gets, those mid-range jump shots, because with that shot blocker Mara back there, things at the rim are going to be difficult at best.
Well, and Michigan's a good three-point shooting team, but with the way that they're dominating in the paint, Rutgers will take the shots on the perimeter. Powers for 3 over the arm, and he knocked in a triple. So back-to-back buckets for the freshman.
It's called being ready when your number's called.
He has not played a ton of minutes in the 5 games he's played, just about 7 minutes per game. Lino Mark, freshman from California, also in the backcourt. McKinney for 3, rattles out. So a couple of consecutive stops for the Scarlet Knights.
Kind of sagging back in there, and look, they're proficient from out there, but if you are Rutgers, especially with the way Michigan has started in the paint, you can live with them taking those jump shots.
Powers again. Tracked down his own rebound, but couldn't find it.
Couldn't find him behind Mara.
Part of the reason he can't find the ball. Gale Jr. got inside, and again, right at the paint.
And a smart play by Gale of understanding, hey, look, we've taken threes the last couple of times. Our bread and butter so far in this ball game has been in that painted area. Let's go back there.
Yeah, they're 0 of 6 from 3. 75% Michigan inside the arc. Lino Mark for 3. He is now 0 of 8 on the season from beyond the arc. Kaysen, a little too high for Cheddar. And it will stay Michigan basketball.
I think they got a foul, too.
The officials were conferring. No foul. It was just, just Michigan basketball.
I thought the official pointed out. I thought he signaled a foul, but I stand corrected.
Well, they're going to go to the monitor here. Well, so they say it was off of Rutgers. Steve Peichel is using his coach's
Michigan
challenge.
basketball, and the play has been challenged by Rutgers. Current play is under review.
Yeah.
All right, so let's take a look at this.
Yeah, this shouldn't take too long.
Yeah, that's definitely Rutgers basketball.
And again, Jason, the reason that Coach Peichel was able to utilize this, you have to have a timeout to go to the challenge.
Right.
And if this one is upheld, he'll get a second challenge as this game unfolds. If the challenge
After review, the ruling on the floor has been overturned. It is Rutgers basketball on the baseline. Rutgers will still have another challenge and will not be charged a timeout.
Now, if you win your second challenge after winning the first, there is no third. So it is 2 for the max. That is all you have. But here's the other thing. Steve Peichel's team has been, kind of struggling to do anything successful on back-to-back possessions. They got a couple of stops, got a couple of buckets. Getting that ball and using that challenge on what obviously in front of his bench was so obvious felt pretty important.
Yes.
Steve Michael wins his challenge. Saw a couple of challenges in the game before us in the last 5 minutes there. Ohio State Northwestern. Foul away from the basketball. It's on McKinney.
To kind of pay off the point with that new challenge system, you know, you really need to be judicious with it, right? I mean, you don't want to burn them early on, but you also want to make sure that you don't have the opportunity and let it go by to maybe have a possession-changing game. And for Rutgers, I really like the fact that what did they have to lose, right? And especially maybe it throws a little bit of sand in the offensive gears of Michigan.
There's Badalu on the floor for the first time. Chris Woolley split the defenders by fall, tapped it around. And Badalu, who started the first 8 games for Rutgers, only played 4 minutes against Purdue. Big putback there.
And you saw the offensive rebounding available again because Mara's out of the ballgame, so you can attack the rim. And speaking of attacking the rim, Michigan returns the favor.
That was a breakdown defensively. Well, you have, at this moment, 4 freshmen on the floor for the Scarlet Knights. By Fall's the one who's not, and he has the tip in.
That's been a hallmark of Rutgers basketball in the Steve Pikiell era, is attacking the offensive window.
Man, that is a strong take, and Johnson is into double figures already. Now, they have had no answers for the 6'9", 250-pound sophomore. Powers with the fake. Well, this is not a lineup that has been on the floor for Rutgers for many minutes at all, if any, this season. Nice find, and Lino Mark on the drive.
A good job by Mark. Again, the shot blocker not there with the shot clock winding down. Attack the rim.
Burnett, they lost him in transition. That is the first made triple for Michigan.
And that's a mistake to lose him, even though Michigan has struggled from behind the arc on the season. Burnett has not 44% from deep.
Well, you know, we were talking about on offense. They've had some nice movement. Rutgers with this lineup, though, on defense is losing their guys. Yes. Powers misses the 3 on the other end. Immediate timeout coming on the next whistle.
Oh, nice pass.
And the finish.
What a job by Cadeau. Come under control, shot fake, the defender goes up. That allows you to have the passing angle, and he put enough mustard on the bounce pass where the recipient didn't have to go below his waist. Well done by the UNC transfer.
He has 5 assists in this ball game. Woolley. There's no foul called. Lendeborg with a 3-on-1. There's a shoe on the floor. And they'll stop play to allow By Fall to put on his left sneaker. And Rutgers needs to talk about it anyway.
Well, somebody's short a shoe, but it's been Michigan doing the running here. In their half court, watch Cadeau. Under control, boom. That's how you have a 3-to-1 assist turnover ratio.
So hear the drums drumming, all your friends humming. Yeah, it's a good time coming. Everything you wanted, it's right here, y'all. Everything you needed, it's right here, y'all. We got the tunes bumping, got the kids jumping. Yeah, it's a good time coming.
When I started Walton Goggins Goggle Glasses, I didn't know how to turn all this fancy prettiness into a classy-looking logo. But GoDaddy Aero does, with its magical AI powers. It not only creates it, it slaps that sweet thing everywhere.
When you make your dip super creamy with almonds, your new boyfriend can know nothing about football.
Oh, he touched it down. Bro, that's the other team.
And still fit in just fine.
Have you tried the dip?
Oh, great fumble. Great fumble?
That's a Hail Mayo.
When I was a little girl, that ball and me were just glued. I used to gather up as many soccer balls as I could, and I would shoot for hours upon hours. There was just a dedication and a passion that I had. I wanted to become the best player in the world, and that meant being the best version of myself, because if I was the best version of myself, then ultimately that would help the team. I looked at everything I wasn't good at, and I just worked at it. I sacrificed and dedicated myself for literally every second of my life. And 10, 15 years later, I was named the best player in the world. You can have all the talent in the world, but if you don't have the work ethic to be able to push through and become better, you're never going to make it to the top. I'm Carly Lloyd, World Cup champion, Olympic gold medalist, and Rutgers graduate.
I remember sticking this leg up on the bulkhead and hanging on for dear life. But we were going to stop in a safe place.
Coming on February 24th, it's the big story. The miracle of March 8th, which relives the day the 2017 Michigan men's basketball team, along with members of the cheer squad and band, survived an aborted takeoff and then went on to win the 2017 Big Ten men's basketball tournament. That'll be fantastic coming up at the end of February. Sean, they played that first game against Illinois 24 hours later. Their practice uniforms was right here on Big Ten Network. They were the 8th seed in that tournament.
Well, something like that can do one of two things. You know, it can really rally, which obviously it did, and it can also certainly serve as a unifier, and it did that as well.
Mark misses out of the timeout. You know, the plane crash had happened on the takeoff. Their uniforms were trapped underneath in the cargo section of the plane, so all they had with them was their practice uniforms for that first game of the Big Ten tournament. Elliot Cadeau misses inside. But again, Steve Pikiell going with this young lineup. Adalou and Zerno on the floor together, along with Chris Woolley and Lino Mark. So 4 freshmen and the well-traveled by Fall on the inside. Adalou for 3, rolls around and out. Chris Woolley puts back the offensive board.
The offensive window has kind of allowed Rutgers to hang around here as much as they have, because they've been turning the ball over, but they've been able to get some extra possessions with their willingness to attack the offensive window and attack the basket, especially with Mara out of there, and it's reflected of those 7 offensive boards. They've gotten 8 points off it.
That's goaltending, and it went in anyway. Count the bucket. The aggression for Michigan to get inside and get in the paint. John, we have 5:55 to go here in this first half, and of Michigan's 33 points, 28 have come in the paint.
And a lot of those have come in transition as well in the paint, and to compound the struggles for Rutgers here in the early going, a lot of those have been live ball turnovers, which have led to the breakout opportunities, because this is a very good three-point shooting team in Michigan. That hasn't been what's been hurting them, meaning Rutgers so far. It's been the ability of Michigan to get in the paint and dominate.
There was a strong focus for the Scarlet Knights coming into this game to get back to their rebounding ways. And here in the first half, they are plus on the glass. Just 1 of 7 from beyond the arc and 37% from the floor. In the corner, Jamichael Davis for 3. Morez Johnson pulls it down.
A good job by Cheddar of coming out and contesting.
Cadeau with 5 assists. Johnson, he's left alone and drills it. He has done everything here in the first half. His first 3 of the season.
Good active hands by Michigan, and yet another turnover for the Scarlet Knights.
Lendeborg as well.
Jason, if you've got bigs that can score around the rim and do that, it's almost not fair.
John, it's a 15-2 run. And this is what happened to Rutgers on Wednesday. They had it within 1 against Purdue, and then a 10-0 run, and they were never back in the game. Miss. And Lendeborg tracks it down.
Extra pass.
He wants the 3. Oh, and Cheddar got hit in the face, an elbow. Darren Buchanan Jr. called for the foul. We'll see if they go to the monitor and take a look at this. This is second foul. Well, watch the elbow here.
Yeah,
more of a hand.
Right.
You were just talking about when you have bigs who can do that. Morris Johnson Jr. in his career had never done that. That three he made, Sean, the first not just of the season, but of his young 1.5-year college career.
If he makes that consistently, I don't know how you guard the guy.
Well, there may not be a person in the Big Ten, maybe the country, with a motor like his. That's thrown out of bounds. 9 Rutgers turnovers. Well, the number 3 team in the country right now, they're looking like the number 1 team in the country.
I'm the guy sitting next to your girl on the kiss cam.
And this game just got a lot more interesting.
Sheila? Mom?
Fire!
And if you don't have the right home coverage, you might have to kiss your savings goodbye. Let's go, beat it. Switch to Allstate and you could save hundreds. What are you waiting for? Make your move before I do.
'Twas the month of November, and all through Bob's stores were weekly unboxings of savings and more.
For Unbox Week 4, you'll want to sing stanzas about all the fab finds in our
$9.99 Bonanza. You can get my Playmax sectional, my Tuxedo Power sofa, mid-century Betty dining set, stunning Cascade bedroom, and Papa-Pedic signature mattress. Each for $9.99 or less. Unbox major savings every week in November. Oh, my Bob!
Bob's Discount Furniture.
Oh, hi. Work here. I know I've been a little unreasonable. Okay, a lot unreasonable. Ugh, I'm so clingy. But I got some help from UKG, and I'm like AI smart now. I'm ready to think about our future. Try new things together. I'll even be more flexible with your time. Look at us. It just feels right.
Your outlet is loose. You need Snug Plug, the fast and easy way to make sure your plug stays in. Now go from loose outlet to secure snuglet. Look, with 5 pounds of pressure on an ordinary outlet, the plug comes out. But not with Snug Plug. Even with the same 5 pounds of pressure, the plug stays snug.
You'll find so many uses for Snug Plug every day.
Turn the frustration off and keep the power on with Snug Plug. Get your Snug Plugs at Walmart, the Home Depot, and Amazon.
Now, Dusty May last year in his first season in Ann Arbor turned the Wolverines around, ranked most of the year, went to the Sweet 16. Different players this year, but they have an opportunity to be number 1 for the first time since that team 12, 13 years ago, 2013, went to the national championship game and played against Louisville. And, you know, a lot of people thought after the trip to Las Vegas where they beat Gonzaga and Auburn in back-to-back games by a combined 70 points, that they might have been ranked number 1 this week. It was Purdue, then Arizona, but Purdue lost at home today to Iowa State. Arizona tonight home for Auburn. And with that, Sean, there's a direct comparison because Michigan beat Auburn by 30 on a neutral floor.
And what Michigan has done has not been, you know, against lesser competition. They have dominated, and I mean dominated their opponents coming into this ballgame.
Now, this is the 8th game of the year for the Wolverines, 6th against a power conference opponent. And I'll throw San Diego State in that mix. They did play in the national championship a couple of years ago.
Perennial NCAA team.
Dylan Grant is fouled. Is on Morris Johnson Jr. His first. Well, he hit that 3 a couple of minutes ago, Sean, and you know he did not take one at Illinois last year. His 3rd 3 attempt this year. All part of it, you know, everything of his game last year was around the basket. He's expanding his game here in a Dusty May offense.
And attacking the offensive window, and he has certainly continued to do that during his time here at Michigan.
Picked up 2 quick fouls back-to-back. But he has 15 points and 3 rebounds here in this opening half.
At the line shooting 2 for Rutgers in the 13,
Zerno at the free throw line to shoot a pair. Johnson will go to the bench. Vandenborg will check back in.
And if you're Rutgers, you're like, oh, good. Morris Johnson's checking out. Bad news. Vandenborg's coming in.
When you got used to the bigs last year, Danny Wolf and Vlad Golden, and different, now you add another guy in Mara to combine with those three. It's just such a large lineup and so versatile. Ronnie Gale there to collect the deflection. Godot lines up the triple. Now Michigan is at 40 points for the 11th time in 15 halves this year. And that is just a ridiculously efficient offense that's just chugging along. A foul, it's on Michigan. It's on the floor, just the 5th on the Wolverines. Now coming up on the halftime show, presented by State Farm, Dave Revson and the guys. They're in Indianapolis at Fan Fest. They'll get you caught up on what's going on around the conference. Somewhat has been an awesome day of hoops. Just great matchups left and right. Plus, Big Ten championship tonight there in Indianapolis, 1 versus 2.
I think downtown Indianapolis may be hopping.
Now they saw Indiana and Louisville. Now you walk across the street.
And Mara there, again, barely had to jump to block that shot.
Roddy Gale Jr. stepped through, and it's off Dylan Grant. Stayed Michigan way.
Mara averages just under 3 blocks per ball game. So much to love about his game. And the other thing on that block shot, you know, a lot of times guys will try to draw attention to themselves, smack it out of bounds. He kept it in play. He pointed rather than swinging down, which is hard to do when you're 7'3".
Well, and he didn't take a 3 in his 2 years at UCLA either. Now, he hasn't hit one this year, but he has taken a handful from beyond the arc. So again, it's a different aspect of what they're allowing their bigs to do. Vandenborg tried to, oh, it's in!
They're gonna weigh that off.
Yeah, absolutely. That was gonna go in no matter what anyway.
100%.
That would have been one of those circus shots that's replayed and you would have underneath, when it's going well, it's going really well.
It's clearly above the cylinder. Yeah, they were right to wave that one off.
Aiden Powers getting extended first half action, and he's got 7. He had 9 total in the 5 games he had played so far this year.
And that's a second excellent conversion in the mid-range, but you can't relax because Michigan is going to come at you.
Now, every time they've had a solid offensive set and made a shot, I mean, that has happened. 100 seconds left to go here in the first half. Powers, oh, that's deflected. And on the run again, a 2-on-1. Low pass, collected and slammed home.
That's good hands by Mara. He had to kind of reach back behind him. That's not an easy play.
Because you think on a 2-on-1 with a 7'3" guy running the floor, the ball's going up.
Right. But it also says something that the 7'3" guy can run the floor that well to even be put in that position.
Zerno with the quick trigger, knocks in a triple. So Zerno, who got his first career start, has 10. He has been the offensive spark for the Scarlet Knights. Quick pass, Gale Jr. for 3. And Mara is being held by Fall. Let's go back to this. This is hard to do.
Yeah, watch him sprint. Now he locates the ball. Now it's not an awful pass, but that's not an easy pass. If you were Mara, you'd like that pass out in front of you. He has to reach back a little bit. That is not easy for anybody. But especially when he has to go down below his waist, that's a long way.
And it was all one motion, too. He didn't stop. He didn't allow Dylan Grant to get back into the play. He's at the free throw line for a 1-and-1. He's just 7 of 20 this year. That's kind of the one spot, but that is a good-looking free throw.
And I think his foul shooting, you could see the rotation is very good, but this may be an area where his height actually kind of hinders him a little bit, because in many ways, by the time he extends his hand to that 9-9 standing reach, he's almost shooting down.
And he makes them both. Now Michigan shooting 59% from the floor here in the first half. They have forced Rutgers into 9 turnovers, and they have had a wide margin of lead for much of this first half. Which finds Francis around a curl. Aiden Powers has been a nice spark. Zerno in the corner. And now the shot clock turned off. Michigan can hold for one.
And if you are Rutgers, the last thing you want to have happen here is to do a nice job defensively and then give up a second chance opportunity toward the end of the half.
So Michigan takes that timeout. Well, tomorrow it is an enormous day of women's hoops. It's going to start right here in Ann Arbor. 10 straight hours of conference matchups, 6 ranked teams. Gets going at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. It finishes at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific for the top 25 showdown between Washington and USC. It is awesome tomorrow on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. We saw Michigan warming up, getting a practice in after the men's team finished here this afternoon. They have another outstanding squad.
A lot of activity in the Chrysler Center.
Yeah, big time. Big time. You and I were here around 9 a.m. Rutgers got their practice in with Steve Peichel. You and I went and got a sandwich after. Well, I did. You didn't eat. Why don't you eat anything before a game? It's 4 p.m. tip-off.
I'm fine, man. Does it look like I'm starving to death?
Oh, you're fine.
Oh, yeah.
And you've got energy. You're fine.
Yeah.
Well, Steve Peichel's got a ton of energy. His team came out, different starting lineup. And, you know, Michigan just pounded them in the paint, to the tune of a 23-point first half lead.
And Rutgers coming out of that dead ball situation, a little bit of a zone look to give Michigan something different to think about. May also help them on the rebounding part of it.
Godot went baseline. Roddy Gale puts it in. 50. They have doubled up Rutgers in the first half. 2 to shoot. Woolley lost the ball. Another turnover and a dominant 20 minutes. 10 days off, no problem for the Wolverines.
Just absolutely destroying Rutgers in the paint, continuing a theme with their offensive proficiency by the Wolverines. A lot of it starts with their defense, though, Jason.
No question. They forced 10 turnovers and put in 50. A showcase at home. Coming up, it's the halftime show presented by State Farm. We go to Indianapolis right after the break. Michigan, well, they're in cruise control here at the half. 50-25, number 3, leading Rutgers here in Ann Arbor. Jason Horwitz, Sean Morris, happy to have you back with us here at Chrysler Center. Sean, Michigan came into this game winning 4 straight by 25-plus points, and they're up by 25 at the break.
Well, they've dominated points in the paint, obviously doubling up Rutgers on the scoreboard, but they've been very unselfish in doing so, much like they have all year. Michigan averages 20 assists per ball game, 13 in the first half on 21 made field goals, so they're right in that area where they're going to be at a 65% share rate, and that sharing has certainly paid off, as that number there can attest.
And we'll see if they keep up that scoring here in the second half, but they are certainly on pace for a 5th 90-point game in their first 8 games. And Sean, they're off back-to-back 100-point games as Caden Powers, who had a great first half, gets the start for Rutgers here in the second half.
And it doesn't hurt your cause when your point guard, Godot, 7 assists, no miscues in the first 20 minutes.
Yeah, he had 7 assists. Rutgers had 4 assists. Inside, Morez Johnson had 15 at the break. A couple of misses inside for the Wolverines as they dominated in the paint. 34 in the first half inside the paint. If you're Rutgers, how do you get back in this game?
What? It's going to start on the defensive end of the floor. Make sure you at least give yourself a chance there, be it in defensive transition or limiting to 1 shot, because they've had a lot of self-inflicted wounds, starting with the turnovers that allowed Michigan to get out and run. And right now, you just have to make sure that you try to get up and get bodies on there and not allow second chance opportunity.
Open 3 for Godot. Grant collects the board. We've had a couple of stops here. Can they put some buckets together? Dylan Grant goes right at Lendeboard.
He went right at Lendeboard, but he also had to kind of throw a peek at to go there, and he just didn't have any chance to score at the rim because he didn't have a clear shot. There's a reason. I mean, that's almost ridiculous.
I mean, it's not like he's doing that over a 6'1" player.
No.
That is a 6'7". But you highlighted it. His arms standing, if you go straight up, they can almost touch the rim. 9'9".
I mean, the position isn't bad for Rutgers, but the only opportunity he would have had is just kind of stick his hands up and maybe try to catch the ball before it got to him.
Well, and all in one motion, he had the pass, too. And then he blocks the shot. And it'll stay Rutgers basketball.
And what Grant did there is he dribbled himself into trouble. He had the mid-range shot, but watch what this extra dribble does. Takes him right into the shot-blocking presence. He's done that at least 3 times tonight.
Yeah, 3 blocks. He's number 10 in the country at just under 3 blocks a game coming in. Well, neither team here has scored in the second half. Tough 3. And if you're looking for positives for Rutgers the last couple of games, Cerno had 13 against Purdue. He's got 11 here against Michigan.
And in the last game was 3 of 5 from deep. So they can bring, that sort of consistent performance from behind the arc. It's certainly going to do nothing but help Rutgers' cause.
That's a scary thing, though, for the rest of the Big Ten, because Johnson has hit his first 2 career threes in this ballgame. You look at your scouting report, you do the whole thing, Cerno inside, and you're thinking about what you're going to do with Morris Johnson Jr. within 10 feet. Now you got to play him out to 23 feet.
And if you don't close out under control, he has the ability to put the ball on the floor and become a playmaker as well.
And Landemore, just like he did in the first half. Johnson hit a 3, Landemore gets a 3.
Landemore at 7 feet does that 39% of the time.
Those 2 are both in double figures. He's got 11 to go with 6 rebounds. Francis trying to get going. He's bumped. He completes it, and an opportunity for 3. Well, Morris Johnson Jr. is a 66% shooter on the season. And today, well, he's knocking in shots from beyond the arc.
Yeah, if he has the opportunity and the ability to consistently do this, where you're able to fill behind with the other offensive weapons that they have, a team that is almost impossible to guard will become even more so. Now on the other end for Rutgers, a couple of good offensive possessions they strung together, and an unsung hero in both of those possessions, this one scoring at the rim for Francis, has been a Bole. He has shielded off the shot blocker on the far side of the floor.
Bole on the bench now by Fall. Placed him on the floor.
Probably trying to get a Bole a little bit of extra rest with the 16-minute timeout coming, and Rutgers again going to show a little bit of a zone look to Michigan.
Don't count that. That was still on the way up. That ball was not going to get above the rim. But Fall still knocked it into the glass. Goaltending. They counted the basket. By Fall began his career a top 75 recruit. Started at Arkansas, just a few games last year at Kansas State. Now in his first year with the Scarlet Knights. Big, tall player, 6'11". You see the athleticism. But again, Steve Peichel in this ball game, Steve, he's been playing. He's got 7 freshmen on the roster.
Yes.
He has been playing them extensively, more so than his experienced guys.
Well, and trying to get them, understanding playing at this high level. Coach Peichel, I think, was pleading his case that was not a goaltend.
Powers up top. It was deflected, and that was enough to change the trajectory. On the break, Gale with the flush.
How about the pocket pass in transition by Landemore?
It is impressive to just see this offense in person. They are a well-oiled machine 8 games into the season.
And an unselfish machine, as that last graphic can tell.
And a foul, Gale got him. So you have a miss on the alley-oop on one end and a run out the other way.
And this is a guy at 7 feet. Little pocket pass, and not only was it the right pass, it's in the right place. Look what it does. It leads Gale right to the rim.
Yale Jr. started the opener. He's been coming off the bench, and that's an offensive foul. And I think Fall got the worst of that as he is holding, well, part of his body. Well, Michigan trying to score 103 straight games for the first time since 1989. Stick around, see if this offense can get there as we continue here in Ann Arbor.
If you still haven't heard about Mott & Bow's jeans, you are missing out. Mott & Bow is the #1 premium denim company in comfort and style. Their jeans have dynamic stretch technology to provide absolute flexibility and make them perfect for everyday wear. The denim comes from some of the best denim mills in the world, so their jeans look great and last a very long time. They are probably the most comfortable jeans you'll ever wear. Head on over to mottandbow.com for the perfect balance of fit, style, and comfort.
Wendy's has new chicken tenders. Crispy, juicy, tendery tendies. Ooh, that's fun to say. Tendies, tendies, tendies. And they're so good, maybe we should change our... For tendies you're gonna know by name, gotta be Wendy's.
When I started Walton Goggins Goggle Glasses, I needed a website. And GoDaddy Aero uses AI to make a beautiful website so fast it'll blow my customers' noggins. While they're shopping for Goggins for their noggins.
Time to make the sports.
Wake up to FS1's new daily sports talk show.
You can't beat us and you know it.
You want El Presidente, Big Cat, PFT, and T-Bob. Uncensored, unpredictable.
I feel like I'm losing my mind right now.
We're your guys.
Let's handle this like men.
Wake up Barstool, weekdays at 8 Eastern on FS1.
Let's go.
Michigan up by 27, 16 minutes to go. You know, we told you before the break that 1989, the 89-90 Michigan team, the year after winning the national championship, the last Michigan team to score 100 in 3 straight games. Ramil Robinson, Terry Mills, Loy Vaughn, Sean Higgins, they all averaged 14 points or more. Sean Morris, we came into this game talking about the balance for the Wolverines, and it's all on display.
The balance offensively, defensively, they're also extremely stout. You can take some chances when you have an elite shot blocker as that last line of defense as a rim protector. And the other thing that has stood out to me, not just in this ball game, but throughout the course of the early part of the season, is the unselfishness with which the Wolverines play.
16 assists on 25 made shots. That is about 64% of their shots. And Gale traveled before. Wave that off. I'm sorry, a foul called on the floor. Now they're waving off the basket. There was a conversation whether there was a travel or a foul. They call it a foul, but it is on the floor. It's the third on Fall. Jason on the pass, drills a 3, another assist for Lendeboard.
And this defensive pressure really sped up Rutgers. This is not where they're the most comfortable.
Nice find inside, an extra pass for Grant. Nice clutch move.
Smart again, understanding that Mars on the bench. This may be an opportunity to get something easier, not easy, but easier than when he's in the ball game.
The corner triple. Bounced around with Johnson, and he's fouled. And all the bounces, the plays, they're all going the Wolverines' way.
And that's one where next year Zerno may be able to corral that rebound, right? He had the inside position, but Roddy Gale had the physical maturity to kind of just rip the ball away from him.
It'll be interesting after the game. Steve Peichel will be asked about the game, obviously, the rotation, but the players getting the majority of the minutes in this game are a little bit different than some of the guys who have played the first 9 games this year.
It never hurts. Look, these guys, the younger guys, are going to have to, at some point in time, you know, play in a Big Ten game, and they've come in here, and I think he's also looking for guys that are going to continue to play hard, right, and find somebody that at least on the defensive end may be able to stop that dribble penetration to give themselves a chance, because a lot of their struggles on the defensive end of the floor have, yes, been in transition, but when Michigan's able to break down the initial ball handler and put themselves in a defensive scramble situation, that's also been to their detriment.
Johnson has his 3rd career 20-point game. Javonte Ware on the floor for Rutgers for the first time. And Steve Peichel did talk about what he thought was depth coming into this season. So they figure out their rotation. There's a lot of guys that they like, but 7 freshmen on the roster. They're going to fight for minutes to go along with Grant and the transfer Francis from NJIT. Zerno around the screen, off on the 3. Kaysen did not throw it away.
Kaysen was lucky there because that was a careless pass.
The move stays Michigan basketball. Dusty May's team, nearly 94 points a game this season. This is the 6th of their first 8 games against major competition, and they're going to have Villanova in this building coming up on Tuesday night.
And to kind of pay off that point, they're, including obviously the games in Vegas, their average margin of victory, 26 points per ball game prior to today.
And you wondered, too, coming off 10 days off. They had not played since the day before Thanksgiving. If there'd be any type of letdown coming off the way they played, and the answer has been a resounding no.
As their game was Simonized, no rust.
Francis rolls in the pull-up.
Smart play by Francis. We saw his teammate a couple possessions ago, if you remember, he took that extra dribble and went right into the shot blocker. Here he understood my best option is going to be to create some space.
Mason got it back from Gale. Open for 3 again. Wolverines have hit 9 of their last 14 from beyond the arc.
And Kaysen, only 21% three-point shooter prior to those offerings.
Gale commits the foul. Well, we'll see where the Wolverines are come Monday in the new AP poll. Villanova coming up then Saturday night in College Park against Buzz Williams' revamped roster. So you'll see Kevin Willard on Tuesday, his former school, coming up on Saturday. And a couple of games back here inside Chrysler Center before resuming Big Ten play against an undefeated at the moment USC squad. Solid defensive play from Lino Mark, the freshman from California.
Good hustle by Mark. Didn't give up on the play.
Good passing, Dylan Grant the 3. Touch pass to the front court. Part of the impressive part for Michigan, they built those massive leads in Vegas, and they never stepped off the gas. And that's happening again this afternoon.
You don't step off the gas in terms of individual effort because of the depth with which they have over there, right? If you're not playing, they can put somebody in that will.
Waits for the defender. Honolulu kicked it back out. Ball never hit the rim. Only 4 to shoot for the Scarlet Knights. The floater from Grant.
And the first thing Mara does when he gets a rebound, he is looking up the floor.
And Kaysen hits again. Michigan has hit 7 of its last 8 from deep. Timeout, Rutgers.
On the rebound, look where Marr is looking. He's already looking up the floor. You sprint, then you fill in behind, and Kaysen knocks down yet another triple. It was inside in the first half, outside in the second.
Back pain. When you've got it, you know it. Introducing the X-Back from CopperFit, our groundbreaking technology designed for compression support of your lower back and core like you've never experienced before. Engineered with our most innovative, patent-pending, Advanced X compression system. The X-Back evenly distributes the support across a broader surface area of your back for relief of lower back aches and pains.
The new belt is fantastic. I feel a bigger area of support. Immediately, there was something different about this.
A super lightweight mesh fabric, ventilated for unmatched breathability to increase airflow and release excess heat.
You have to try it. You haven't felt anything that's going to give you the kind of support and relieve the back pain that you have, because it is unbelievable.
Our copper-infused fabric, made with the most advanced materials for superior support and lighter than air comfort.
It's just relaxing all that tension that you get.
Wow, oh, that feels great.
I've tried a lot of belts in the past. Nothing like this.
I have a history of back issues, man, and this is really hard to believe what I'm feeling right now.
An orthopedic-designed alloy support panel and 4 built-in flexible stabilizers to help improve alignment and promote better posture.
Usually when I have long triathlons, there's pain. With the belt, there's absolutely no pain. For me, it was like, okay, is this really happening? I really haven't felt anything like this before.
The all-new X-Back from CopperFit, the most effective, breathable, customizable support for relief of lower back pain you will ever wear. Guaranteed or your money back. Get yours now at getxback.com for only 2 payments of $29.99 or call 1-800-298-1122. Order right now and your shipping is free.
This is by far the best support that I have found.
You feel like, you conquered the world, and it's life-changing.
The all-new X-Back from CopperFit. Feel the difference.
Now that timeout taken by Rutgers right at the 12-minute mark, so the next whistle will be another timeout, but Michigan just absolutely dominant. 102 against Auburn, a 30-point win. 101 against Gonzaga, a 40-point win. And they are well on their way to 100 for a 3rd straight game, up by 37 here this afternoon.
And in putting up those almost video game type numbers, the unselfishness continues to hop out at you. 30 made field goals so far for the Wolverines here at home on 20 assists. 2/3 of their baskets have come with a helper. Like that math?
Yeah, I know you're good at that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that was what got you your scholarship at Northwestern, right?
It wasn't a modeling scholarship, I can tell you that.
By fall playing with 4 fouls. No mark with Zerno, Powers, and Woolley on the floor. The 3 is good. Caden Powers having a solid game. 10 points here this afternoon. Good positioning, Fall never moved, and Marr couldn't convert. That goes out of bounds, which will send us to another immediate timeout. So a break here in Ann Arbor. All Wolverines.
Your personal finances start with you, but their impact can reach even further. With the right financial plan, your money can be a tool for giving thanks, planning ahead, and spreading joy. For lifting people up, putting down roots, and bringing loved ones home. However you spend this Christmas, Thrivent can help you plan your finances for the people, causes, and communities you love. Thrivent, where money means more.
Let's go, bud. Hurry up. Come on. I'm a baseball dad. Just because I didn't go pro doesn't mean my kid won't. Give me that.
No pressure, kid. Just everyone watching.
Coach says it doesn't matter if you win or lose the game, but that's what losers say. You gotta swivel those hips, right? And you gotta swing. 4! And if you don't have the right insurance, you can be paying for this yourself. So get Allstate, save money, and be protected from mayhem. Yeah, like me.
Marathon is rewarding fans with savings of up to $1 per gallon. All by earning rewards on every gallon and on select in-store items. making every pit stop and snack break worthy of a celebration.
Score.
The more you fuel up, the more you score with Marathon Rewards. Marathon, the official fuel of the Big Ten.
Oh, I'm not. Elf? Head elf. Everyone wants iPhone 17 with its awesome cameras and epic display. At T-Mobile, you get it on them.
Dad says switching stinks.
Not anymore, right, Mrs. Claus?
Now you can switch to T-Mobile in just 15 minutes, and they'll drop off your new iPhone the same day.
Dude.
Yeah.
Not you.
Switch to T-Mobile in just 15 minutes. Get a new iPhone 17 on us, and we'll drop it off the same day.
Every day, we are here. In the medicine that keeps your family healthy. In the food on your table. In the discoveries that drive the nation and economy forward. We've always been here. In the solutions shaping a better future across the country in every corner of life. Researching, teaching, solving, innovating. On campus, in your community. Every day, we are here.
The pilot hits the brakes, and at that point you know something is wrong or something is off.
We're gonna run out of one-way at some point, so that's when I probably started getting a little nervous.
I remember sticking this leg up on the bulkhead and just hanging on for dear life.
Coming your way Tuesday, February 24th. It's the big story, the miracle of March 8th. We go from the terrifying near crash to then 5 days later finishing 4 wins in 4 days to win a Big Ten tournament championship. It's coming your way February 24th only on the Big Ten Network. It'll stay Rutgers basketball. John, that John Beilein-led team, and they were trying to get to Washington, D.C. on Wednesday. They were starting on Thursday. We have a challenge coming up. Dusty May has challenged whether, in fact, this is off of Rutgers or Michigan.
Yeah, Will Cheddar was imploring him to utilize his challenge here.
Yep. The ruling on the court is Rutgers basketball. Michigan has challenged the call. The play's under review.
Jason Phillips giving us that announcement. Steve Peichel won his challenge in the first half. You can't tell right there. Let's zoom in a little bit and see if it hits Chris Woolley's leg. Can't really tell from that side whether or not it hit his leg or not.
And what you're kind of taking a look for, Jason, is to see if the spin of the basketball is altered in any way. If it did hit his leg, it's going to have a little bit of a side spin, and it's kind of hard to tell, as well as if you see a little bit of ruffle with the jersey, which would indicate that the ball did brush it.
And again, remember, the call on the court is Rutgers basketball, so they have to have enough evidence to overturn it. And, you know, can't tell anything from that look.
Yeah, that's an obstructed view.
You know, and Sean, some people might be like, hey, look, it's a 34-point game. But the reality is the craziest things in the history of sports happen because they're the craziest thing in the history of sports. We just told you about this documentary we're going to have. Michigan had a terrifying plane crash and then wins the Big Ten championship 4 games in 4 days. So, you know, here comes the call.
After review, the ruling on the floor stands. Rutgers basketball.
All right, so Michigan will be charged a timeout. Dusty May loses his challenge for the remaining 11:09. And at the moment, all that does will lower his challenge percentage for the first 8 games this year.
That may be the only loss so far today.
Yeah. Now he is Now there's just confirming at the scorer's table to make sure, hey, that is a charge timeout, so they have taken one off the board. So Michigan is down, both teams down to 2 timeouts. Lino Mark trying to trigger in the inbounds, but you got a 7'3" defender on you. And he got it back driving at Mara. Powers with the release. Right into the hands of Mara on the push. That is his 10th rebound. He led the break, and Kaysen finished on the other end.
How about the look ahead? Every time someone corrals the rebound, their first look, Jason, is up the floor.
Well, it's one of the reasons Michigan, top 20, their average possession is less than 15 seconds so far this season. Net collected the board, pushed it immediately.
I tell you what, Fall was really lucky there because he had grabbed Mara, and they're talking to him on the way down.
Cheddar came over for the help. Woolley blocked Mara. Bounce it around. Nice move, Powers some space.
Yeah, that was a savvy move, even though it came up wanting in terms of scoring. Powers understanding, look, against most people, you would try to take that all the way to the rim, but he knows Mara is back there waiting for him.
They wave that shot off. Elliot Cadeau has 9 assists, no turnovers. Look at that wingspan.
And that made what, for most people, would have been a decent look. The basket, when him coming out at you, especially when he puts his arm out, the hoop becomes a rumor.
Well, you and I were talking about this at shoot-around today. You look at Adai Mara on TV, you watch anyone who's that tall, and there aren't many 7'3" people walking around. And, you know, we would have talked about this with Zach Edey and the folks at Purdue the last few years. So it's just so different to see it in person. And, look, that's the same for Rutgers or anybody that plays Michigan this year as well.
And what it does, in addition to blocking the shots, how many does he discourage? And as the game unfolds, it also allows his teammates to be really aggressive on overplays, Jason, because even if they get beaten off the dribble, you have that security blanket down there. If someone tries to backdoor you and score in the lane, he can come up and present that presence. So he throws a wrinkle into the opposition's offensive game plan in more ways than one.
He's got 4 points, but he's got 11 rebounds. He's got 4 blocks. In the first conference game of the year for the Wolverines. Just their 3rd game at home this season. Lino Mark fought that up and in. He's got 4. And Steve Pikiell's trying to find things to build on. It has been a rough go the last couple of weeks. Tennessee got them by 25 in Las Vegas. They come back, they played Notre Dame tough, lost that game before beating UNLV. And then you get #1 Purdue to open conference play, and then at 3rd-ranked Michigan, who was just blowing out everyone.
This is going to be the end of the floor that I think he's going to, when they go back and look at it, the inability here to kind of contain the initial dribble drive has put the red jerseys in a lot of scramble situations here in the second 20 minutes.
And Steve Pikiell continues to rotate different rotations that have been on the floor for most of this season. Tariq Francis, nice move. Last year, he led America East in scoring at over 19 a game. He came into this ball game scoring 12. Today, he came off the bench for the first time this season. Cadeau to the basket. He's got 11 to go with his 9 assists. Dortch is fouled, and the sophomore will be at the free throw line when we come back. Well, the Wolverines trying to do something that they have not done in 36 years.
Are we ready for this party?
Guests are on their way, and food and drinks were just delivered.
Now, what about the music? It's got to be my new one, right? Play it.
I'm a bad man. I'm a masked man.
I'm not sure this is right for your niece's party. She's turning 5.
Oh, I get you.
And Wayne,
Yeah?
should we cancel the dancers?
Let's reschedule the dancers.
What day would work for you?
Just not today. Alexa, you're good.
It's a good thing Discover makes it easy to be a Big Ten fan.
Totally. I get cash back on my rally cap.
Cash back on my favorite glove.
Cash back on my lucky shamrock.
I even earn cash back on my lucky bobblehead.
You win. Next round's on me.
Earn cash back on every purchase with Discover.
When you make your dip super creamy with almonds, your new boyfriend can know nothing about football.
Oh, he touched it down. Bro, that's the other team.
And still fit in just fine.
Have you tried the dip?
Oh, great fumble.
Great fumble? That's a Hail Mayo.
All the people around you at Michigan are people who are unwilling to give up. Everyone is always striving toward, how do we fix this? How do we solve this? What's the solution? And when you're in that environment, that's who you become as well. I was in Iraq in 2003, and I was an embedded journalist with a group of doctors and nurses, and they knew I was a neurosurgeon. Well, one day, they came running into the tent where I was and said, there's been a lieutenant who's been shot in the head, and he needed to have his brain decompressed. So I took the drill that we've been using to put up the tents, I sterilized the bit, and I used that to remove a portion of the back of his head. It's easier to say, I wish I could operate on this guy in the middle of the desert, but I simply don't have the tools. Sadly, he would have died. But instead to say, we're gonna figure out the best possible solution here. I learned that at Michigan. I'm Sanjay Gupta, neurosurgeon, CNN's chief medical correspondent, and a proud Wolverine.
85-47, it has been one-sided right from the opening jump. Wednesday, don't miss a hoops doubleheader. Number 1 Purdue, coming off their first loss of the season, will take on Minnesota. Nice win over Indiana earlier this week at the barn. Then it's Wisconsin, and at the moment, undefeated Nebraska. Coverage gets going. The tip-off show, 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. Now, certainly surprising earlier today, Iowa State's win at Mackey Arena, and they controlled Purdue, who dominated at Rutgers on Wednesday, but it opens the door, Sean, for the possibility that Michigan might very well be number 1 in the country on Monday for the first time since 2013.
Well, they have been dominant, regardless of rank.
Well, there's no question. Arizona's had a great start to the season, and they play Auburn at home tonight. And Duke won today at the Breslin Center and beat Florida earlier this week as well, so they're making a case. But none of those teams, Sean, have looked like this every single game.
Just demolish people.
Miscommunication, and we'll go back to Rutgers. Yep, there it is. Francis launched over Goodman, who's in the ball game. So Dusty May has gone to the bench. And a foul.
Fans getting greedy.
Yeah, just a little bit. We're getting moments here. I mean, you got 7.5 to go, and Oscar Goodman is on the floor. The freshman Winters Grady is on the floor. I mean, Dylan Grant at the free throw line. And he knocked them both in. Oscar Goodman. Redshirt freshman from New Zealand. They turned it over in the backcourt. So a couple of back-to-back plays there for the Scarlet Knights here, and they put the pressure on. And a 3-on-2. Grady in the corner. Knocked in the triple.
And how about the look ahead again? They are always in attack mode, and Gale, a great example of that. They split the double team, they get it to Gale. He's looking up the floor and found his teammate in the far corner.
Now, Winters Grady, the freshman from Oregon. You know, you bring in guys that don't play a ton, and usually, you know, back in the day, you'd think walk on. He's a top 50 recruit. And the timeout taken. Francis made the bucket, takes a timeout. One left for Steve Peichel. Now, Winters Grady, 6'6". He had a massive workout, right? Because, look, you come into a Big Ten opener, you know how your team has been playing, but you're still playing a conference opponent. You don't always expect to get in with 7.5 to go in the ballgame.
Be ready and take advantage of the minutes, because as you mentioned, crazy things happen in sports. Sometimes, unfortunately, injuries occur. So you may think that your number's not going to get called. There's certainly no guarantee of that. And when your number is called and you're trying to increase your playing time, you don't want to waste that opportunity.
Well, you've hammered this point home over and over again today, but Michigan winning all these games, right? They went to Las Vegas and won by a combined 110 points over San Diego State, at the time number 21 Auburn, and 12th ranked Gonzaga, who yesterday beat Kentucky by 30. And that you kind of all right, well, A to B to C. And yes, Rutgers wasn't picked at the top of the Big Ten, but this is a conference opponent that they have led by more than 30 for the better part of this ballgame.
And they came in, and after that 10-day layoff, you're kind of wondering, okay, how are they going to come out? Is there going to be a little bit? And I would say outside of the first couple possessions where they're trying to get their sea legs under them, I mean, they have been all business. And part of that business is the unselfishness with which they play. I continue to be really impressed with how they share the basketball, not just here today, but throughout the course of the season. They came into this ball game averaging 20 assists per ball game and just short of a 65% assist rate.
Rutgers didn't go to this earlier, and again, because Michigan's so good getting up the floor. On cue, Oscar Goodman throws it down. He is playing in his 6th game here in his redshirt freshman season. He has now scored in 4 of them. Now the Wolverines have been averaging 94 points per game, and it is looking like that number's going north.
And they're still running their stuff. You don't see guys just, kind of going off freelance here.
Well, and you hear what the crowd is chanting here inside Chrysler Center. And it's been getting louder as this half is going on. They have been chanting #1 for a few minutes. He's got the bump inside. Woolley turned it over. He might want him to shoot. He'll step through, left it for Johnson. 22 for the transfer from Illinois.
I think that's illustrative of the unselfishness, right? I mean, Gale was ahead of the pack. He could have scored, but he didn't.
About 5 to go. JaMychal Davis clank on the 3. Woolley puts it back in. Now, it'll be interesting to see a little bit of miscommunication. LJ Kaysen thought that he was going to leave the baseline. Brady again for 3. Bounced in off the top of the backboard. I mean, Sean, when it's going good.
Oh, there's going to be something going down here. They better step in.
Yeah, Dylan Grant, Oscar, and Winters Grady, and now everyone's getting in the way. Michigan's coaching staff getting on the floor. The referees trying to separate. Rutgers back over to their bench.
You could see that unfolding.
Well, and did not see, as again, Winters Grady took the shot. It bounces up the backboard and rolls back in. I don't know if he was talking with Dylan Grant. Here it is down the floor. I don't know what Winters Grady said to him, and Dylan Grant then got in his face. So the officials have appropriately separated all the players to their bench.
Currently ruling on the floor is double technicals, white and red. The play is under review to see if there's any additional unsportsmanlike conduct.
All right, so double technicals called on Dylan Grant. And winner's Grady. We'll find out here as the officials are over at the monitor whether or not anybody else that he whistled here for a technical, any type of flagrant, anything like that.
Double technical, and then they'll pick up play from the stoppage of action here,
which will be Rutgers basketball. Yes. The frustrating part too, I mean, for both these coaches, I'm sure you're going to have the teaching moment. You're Dusty May. You're going to be like, guys, you are playing like as good of a team as college basketball has seen for decades.
Right.
And if you're Steve Peichel, you know, I don't know what you say about what has happened here in this ball game, but that's not something that you want leaving this building.
Well, and that could have gotten out of hand, and it didn't, which is fortunate. But you also have to remember, look, this is even though Michigan's offensive production has been video game numbers, it's not played by video game avatars. It's real people, and emotions can get involved, and I think that's exactly what we saw there.
And Sean, I think part of the thing too here is, again, look, Rutgers is getting blown out here on the road against a team that is number 3 in the country, and they'll regroup. They'll play Seton Hall coming up this week, rivalry game for them. At least you go back, and if you're Steve Peichel, you say, hey, Gonzaga just lost by 40 to this team as well, right? It is not just you. They are doing this to a lot of teams here. Let's take a look at this one more time. Top right corner of your screen. It's coming in the bottom. It does look like Grady initiates that.
Well, he certainly said something, and a little bit of a shove there, and that's just a really volatile situation that was quickly put under control.
Wow. We'll get the announcement here from Jason
Phillips. Double technical stands on number 10 white and number 9 red. Rutgers will retain possession of the ball just inside midcourt with the game clock at 4:33 and the shot clock at 23.
All right, so that's the announcement right there. Now Grady is back on the floor. Steve Peichel is going to have Dylan Grant on the bench here.
And this is the basketball version of offsetting penalties in football, right? You know, some folks in the home may be saying, well, why aren't they shooting free throws since it's technical? That's not the case here. They offset, and you just pick up where play was stopped.
Now Michigan has brought in Malik Cordell, the freshman from Germany, who is also on the floor. You got McKinney and you got Kaysen. And Sean, again, you expect some of these numbers when you're playing some of those schools from smaller conferences, but that is not who Michigan has played this year. Powers high off the glass, and you know what? A lot of the contact is now a little bit chippier here on that defensive possession. Gonna get a media timeout coming up in a few seconds here. As Goodman tracked it down, and the lob! Cordell throws it down. Season high 52 points in the paint. Powers launch from the corner.
And again, look where the first look is when someone catches the ball on a rebound. They are looking up the floor.
And they're moving, which will send us to a timeout, final one of this ball game. Everyone getting in on the action. It has been a highlight reel type of game for the Wolverines.
Life's better when you're under our roof. Because we know it's more than a new home.
It's really him.
It's a new journey.
Welcome to the neighborhood, Jordan.
Thanks, guys. Whoa.
And when you feel protected, you can dream fearlessly.
Go long.
Bundle home and auto and save up to 40%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Are you sick of tire dressings that start out greasy, then quickly fade and brown over time?
Introducing Cerakote's Rapid Ceramic Tire Coat. Cerakote's true ceramic technology has just the right amount of shine and lasts up to 10 times longer than traditional dressings. Just wipe it on to get professional showroom shine without the greasy mess that slings on your vehicle. You can trust Cerakote's #1 selling family of products with over 60,000 5-star reviews.
This is the best tire coat and protectant you'll ever use, guaranteed.
Buy today for under $20.
Oh, hi. Work here. I know I've been a little unreasonable. Okay, a lot unreasonable. Ugh, I'm so clingy. But I got some help from UKG, and I'm like AI smart now. I'm ready to think about our future. Try new things together. I'll even be more flexible with your time. Look at us. It just feels right.
Dave Revson, Rafael Davis with you. Michigan by 41 because that's what they do. I can't decide which end of the court is more impressive. They are fabulous.
I mean, we were impressed with the defense in the first half, but when you pay attention and you look at that second half, 52 points in the paint and 13 made threes, this team is big time.
Really, really good, and Rutgers has learned that the hard way. We're getting set for USC and Washington. Wesley Yates back at SC where he played next year. That's coming up in just a few minutes. Jason and Sean.
11 straight in that series with Washington. The last Huskies win pre-COVID, January 2020. So we will get you out there, AJ Cannell, Don McClain, when we are done. But here this afternoon, Rutgers had a 2-0 lead. They led for 5 seconds. And then Michigan has taken over since. And they are 3 points away from scoring 100 for a third consecutive game for the first time since 1989. And they're still at 3 points away. But, I mean, Dave asked the question, what's more impressive, how they are on offense or how they are on defense?
I think I'm going to go with an overlying theme that makes them impressive on both ends of the floor, and it's unselfishness. We talked about their assist, the made field goal ratio, but this is a team, you know, they're not scoring 100 and giving up 98, right? And so you also have to be unselfish in terms of your willingness to play hard on the defensive end and rotate and then funnel things to the shot blocker when he's back in the ball game.
Oh, they're scoring 100 and giving up 65. I mean, that has been around the averages for the Wolverines here so far in this ball game. Oscar Goodman called for the foul. All right, so Steve Pikiell's team, you get Purdue and you get Michigan out of the chute. They'll have Ohio State, Oregon when Big Ten play resumes for them in January. They got a lot of players that have rotated through today, but Caden Powers had some nice minutes off the bench for Steve Pikiell. And Zerno's giving them some good points, a good offense the last couple of ball games.
Yeah, Zerno is something that keep an eye on him as this year unfolds, because he came out, knocked down a jump shot, kind of got things going. And if you're Rutgers after this, you're certainly going to review it, but you're not going to obsess on it, because nothing positive is going to come out of that. What you'll probably try to do is put together a few clips about what can happen on an offensive rebounding situation like that and some of the hustle plays that they made, and then as best you can forget about this, because this has just been domination by a team in Michigan that is, I mean, they're playing at a level that is kind of hard to think about if you've seen it for this long a period of time in the last 10 or 12 years from anybody.
Cordell is fouled, so he will go to the free throw line. A 7'2" freshman. From Oberhausen, Germany, is at the free throw line, and it's the freshman with an opportunity here, Sean, to put Michigan at the century mark for a third straight game. And he won't do it on this trip to the free throw line.
That one would have made a brick in the old Berlin Wall right there.
rotation closer to the middle and a lot of action underneath, and we'll see what this is.
They're going to have, that's a flagrant.
That's a flagrant on Michigan. It looks like McKinney underneath.
And as that unfolded, I think what the official saw was almost kind of a takedown here. Got a loose ball. Yeah, and then he pulls the Rutgers player to the floor.
Yeah.
And then they'll also probably going to go over to the monitor.
It looked like his elbow hit Javonte Ware in the face.
Was there contact above the shoulders here as well?
It didn't look like the initial contact to the face was intentional.
The ruling on the floor is a personal foul on white 1. The play's under review to see if it meets the criteria for a possible flagrant foul.
All right, so.
And I thought it was initially called a flagrant because the official came in and kind of made that signal.
Well, and it looked, you know, Javonte Ware also, you know, it's not just the arms here from McKinney. It's also, you know, the elbow right there from Javonte Ware, but was his arm being held by Michigan's freshman to bring it into his,
almost
all of those things.
Almost a version of a hook and hold as well.
Well, Trey McKinney does have 10 points here this afternoon. So he has 5 games in his freshman year in double figures, and it is 3 straight games with at least 10 points for the freshman. Highly recruited kid out of Flint, Orchard Lake, St. Mary's.
Jason, you know, if I can share some good news, it would be this, is that during the last review, there was actually something on the sound system I recognized. Okay, it was Crazy Train. So I take my wins wherever I can get them.
Do you not? I mean, and I don't know.
This is Run DMC.
Well, no, okay, so I was going to make sure that you knew this one as well.
Yeah. You know, I'm down with what's popping on the streets, Jason. You know that from hanging
I do,
with me.
yeah. Well, don't forget, when we are done, we are sending you to Los Angeles. They're about 2 minutes away from tipping off. Washington, 24th ranked USC, still undefeated here on the season. We'll get you there. AJ Cannell and Don McClain about to get things going there. Some of the late reviews here, they will check that out on the Fox Sports app to get things going.
And USC in the non-conference earlier this season had going to be one of the games of the year at home against Troy. I mean, that was a triple overtime game.
And a buzzer beater.
Yes.
And a long review here. Here comes Jason Phillips. It does look like they're back at the monitor. It looks like they're looking at this review again. He's not done with this yet.
And a lot of times when they're over there, not just to confirm the call, but also time.
After review, it will be a flagrant foul 1 on number 1 white and number 15 red. Those fouls will offset. There will be no free throws. And since Rutgers had possession of the ball at the time of the foul, they will retain possession underneath the basket.
You know, the other part about all this, too, you know, then that was introduced in the NBA first, and then the last couple of years here, we're having this in college. That is fantastic. Not only does everybody at home hear the but the arena gets the explanation, too, because so often, you know, you don't know what's going on, and this is fantastic. All right, here's Dusty May. That's when you're sitting around the Thanksgiving table, and you didn't really catch what was said at the other end, but you only heard the last couple of words. You're like, what?
Or the first time my father-in-law met me. A similar look was displayed.
There's 2:27 to go in a 38-point game. Do you want to dive a little deeper into the first time you met your father-in-law?
Look, first of all, if that's the first person in life you think I've disappointed, you're sorely mistaken. But it's worked out.
Michigan on the cusp. Will they get to 100 for a 3rd straight game? McKinney on the hesitation, and he's fouled. So that's number 9 on the Scarlet Knights. So a 1-and-1 coming up here for the freshman, who has only missed one free throw on the season, and you hear that ovation because not McKinney going to the free throw line, but Howard Isley Jr. getting set to check in here for the Wolverines.
His first appearance.
Yeah, it is. See that injury? He's been dealing with that right knee injury. You see that massive brace on that right knee. And he'll get to check in right now. The son of Howard Isley, 12-year NBA veteran, was a former assistant coach here under Juwan Howard. And Michigan's at 100. 3 straight games with 100 for the first time since 1989.
Michigan a little bit of a zone look here as well.
Inside of 2 minutes to go. Bonnelly short, out of bounds. It's 1989 the last time. It is 3 straight. It is Auburn, it is Gonzaga, it is Rutgers. And on Tuesday, Michigan will go for 100 for the 4th straight time. They have never had 4 straight games crossing 100 points in the school's history.
Well, they're going to give themselves a shot with how they play, especially on the defensive end of the floor. I mean, the points obviously kind of speak for themselves, but defensively, they've been just as impressive on that end.
Well, this crowd, the student section, they want, as McKinney is fouled. They want Howard Isley to get the basketball, Sean. He played 3 games last year as a freshman, but he's never scored in his young Michigan career. Now, double bonus coming up here for the Wolverines. So McKinney will go back to the free throw line. Keep referencing that 1989 team. Terry Mills, right, Lloyd Vaught, Sean Higgins, Ramil Robinson was the leading scorer. That 3-game stretch was Iowa State, coached by former Michigan coach Johnny Orr. Then it was Central Michigan, and then it was an overtime win over then number 6 Duke. But you get 2 power conference teams there, and this is 3 consecutive. Now, well, Gonzaga technically, right, but you get the idea.
Well, and you know, just to kind of go on a little Johnny Orr tangent, he took the Wolverines to the national title game in 1976 in Philadelphia. They played Indiana. That undefeated team ended up winning the national championship. And at that point in time, there were 2 teams that were not in the Big Ten, but Rutgers and UCLA rounded out that Final Four in Philadelphia.
Now, there were 15 undefeated teams left in college basketball coming into the day. Michigan State and Duke played each other. One of them was going to lose, and Spartans no longer undefeated, Purdue. But, Sean, I mean, the amount of great games here is Isley in the corner. The great games in the early part of the season. I mean, that is why you don't have nearly as many undefeated teams. Blocked from Cordell. And, I mean, you're getting extensive minutes for Grady Cordell here on the floor, as well as Goodman.
And you want to develop good habits because, again, foul trouble could rear its head as the season unfolds, and you may be in there sooner rather than later.
Now, the Wolverines came off of an extremely impressive 72 hours in Las Vegas. They waited 10 days to play again, but it has been just as impressive. Shot clock turned off, triple figures, 3 consecutive games for the first time in 36 years. They will dribble it out here at home against Rutgers, and number 3 moves to 8-0. 101-60, Michigan knocks off Rutgers, and they will take on Villanova at home coming up on Tuesday. For my partner Sean Morris, I'm Jason Horwitz and our entire crew. Done in Ann Arbor, triple header continues in Los Angeles. Let's send you to AJ Cannell, Don McLean, Washington, and USC.